Shri Gurave Namaha. Ananati Mirandasya Jnanajana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Stavaram Jangamam Yaktam Yakishitsa Charachara Tatparam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Bhavaji Vyapiya Sarvam Virokyam Sacharacharam Tatparam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaturthi Shiroratna Virajita Padambujaha Vedantambuja Suryoya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chaitanya Shashvata Shanto Vyomatito Niranjanaha Vidurara Kalatita Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Aneka Jamma Samprapta Karma Bandha Vidanine Atma Jnana Pradhanena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shoshanam Bhava Sindhusha Napanam Sarasambhadaha Guru Parorakam Sanya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Na Gururadhikam Tattvam Na Gururadhikam Tapaha Tattvajnanat Param Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Madhurshi Jagannatha Madhguru Shri Jagadguru Mahatma Sarvabhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru Radhiranadisha Guru Paramadevata Guru Parataram Nasti Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhusha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Jai Jai Guru Raj Maharaj Utaro Bhava Sagara Seva. Jai Jai Guru Raj Maharaj Utaro Bhava Sagara Seva. Jai Narayan Bhagavan Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai 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 Jai Ramachandra 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 Bhagavan Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Sri Vishwananda Maharaj Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Shri Vishwananda Maharaj Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Shri Vishwananda Maharaj Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Shri Vishwananda Maharaj Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Shri Vishwananda Bhagavan Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Jai Guru Raj Maharaj 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 Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Jai Narayan Bhagavan 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 Uttaro Bhavasagara Separ. Jai Jai Ramachandra Bhagavan Uttaro Shishaye Namaha, Om Vishamaye Namaha, Om Devakara Samudrataya Namaha, Om Sukshmatanave Namaha, Om Chinmayaye Namaha, Om Gurumurtaye Namaha, Om Sundaraye Namaha, Om Sulochanaye Namaha, Om Sumukhaye Namaha, Om Charvastaye Namaha, Om Keshavaye Namaha, Om Padmabhujaye Namaha, Om Mandagamanaye Namaha, Om Sharvaradharine Namaha, Om Ramaye Namaha, Om Antiyastapakaye Namaha, Om Shri Bhavachakaye Namaha, Om Gayatri Ashwane Namaha, Om Arpanasyakarakaye Namaha, Om Vishnu Puchakaye Namaha, Om Namo Narayanayeeti Matropastakaye Namaha, Om Svaramayaye Namaha, Om Agurakantaye Namaha, Om Krishna Sankirtanarupaye Namaha, Om Sotapriyaye Namaha, Om Mitapashine Namaha, Om Vakmine Namaha, Om Shitakara Visharaye Namaha, Om Vratararaye Namaha, Om Sarave Namaha, Om Jagatpantaye Namaha, Om Savalokaitaye Namaha, Om Bhaktapriyaye Namaha, Om Sudaye Namaha, Om Anukulaye Namaha, Om Neyaye Namaha, Om Surashanaye Namaha, Om Bhaktavatsalaye Namaha, Om Premamurtaye Namaha, Om Suvekshanaye Namaha, Om Pritivananaye Namaha, Om Swastidayakaye Namaha, Om Tarakaye Namaha, Om Anugrahaye Namaha, Om Varnanaye Namaha, Om Achitaye Namaha, Om Martaye Namaha, Om Siddhipradaye Namaha, Om Janardanaye Namaha, Om Manoharaye Namaha, Om Akshaye Namaha, Om Siddheshwaraye Namaha, Om Bhasmabhushitaye Namaha, Om Atmalingaye Namaha, Om Lingachanapulsakaye Namaha, Om Siddhi Saranaye Namaha, Om Madhavaye Namaha, Om Onkharopasakaye Namaha, Om Sukshmaye Namaha, Om Vishwakaye Namaha, Om Sadvikaye Namaha, Om Samadashine Namaha, Om Dakshaye Namaha, Om Achintyaye Namaha, Om Nirankaraye Namaha, Om Nirmohaye Namaha, Om Avyakraye Namaha, Om Chitakrodaye Namaha, Om Vinayashilaye Namaha, Om Savashaye Namaha, Om Kushalaye Namaha, Om Shamaye Namaha, Om Satyavarmaye Namaha, Om Vivekapaye Namaha, Om Viraktaye Namaha, Om Atindraye Namaha, Om Satyasataye Namaha, Om Pavitraye Namaha, Om Madhurasvabhavaye Namaha, Om Suranandaye Namaha, Om Nandanaye Namaha, Om Prasadatmane Namaha, Om Bhaktanidaye Namaha, Om Sanshaye Namaha, Om Samatmaye Namaha, Om Sarayogine Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Sutapaye Namaha, Om Somyaye Namaha, Om Guyaye Namaha, Om Vimuktatmaye Namaha, Om Kabiraye Namaha, Om Guptaye Namaha, Om Atmaramaye Namaha, Om Srinivasaye Namaha, Om Devaye Namaha, Om Tutidaraye Namaha, Om Dhanyaye Namaha, Om Gurave Namaha, Om Duratikramaye Namaha, Om Gahanaye Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Arishanamaganashakaye Namaha, Om Kushashkashakantakaye Namaha, Om Avidrayaye Namaha, Om Sarvamanasamatyaye Namaha, Om Shamayatapamvatakaye Namaha, Om Premavatara Sri Vishwananda Swami Namaha. Yato Deva Avantano Yato Vishnu Vichakrame Pratibhya Sapta Dhamani Veeram Vishnu Vichakrame Trikani Vade Padam Samudramasya Bhagam Suri Trini Vada Vichakrame Vishnu Gopahata Abhyaha Ato Dharmani Garyana Vishnu Karmani Pashyata Yato Pritani Pasta तस्य इन्द्रस्य युजः सदाः तद्विष्णोः परमं परं सदा पश्यन्ति सूर्याः देवेव चक्षुरततं तद्विप्रसो विपर्यवो जागृभागुं ससमिङ्गते विष्णोः परमा परा। गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वनन्दः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ प्रेमवतराय विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वनन्दः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ प्रेमवतराय विद्महे सद्गुरुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विश्वनन्दः प्रचोदयात्। सूर्यकोटि समाप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्। Krishna Vishnu Madhusudana Ketavare Narayana Chukati Vikrama Chakrapane Vijaya Sajara Sridhara Vasudeva Gopala Krishna Hare Tava Suprabhatam Shiraminisha Lavanasha Hare Murare Radesha Gopisa Surupa Bhavani Vandya
गणपतिगुं भवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनश्यन्वन्नोतिरस्यैरसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेर्वाजिनीवती श्रीरामवित्रयवतु श्रीगणेशाय नमः श्रीसरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। भद्रं कर्णे विष्णुनमस्य देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यक्षत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्पष्टवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितैयदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षोऽरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमस्ते गणपतये तमेव प्रत्यक्षं सत्त्वमसि तमेव केवलं भक्तासि तमेव केवलं दत्तासि तमेव केवलं भक्तासि तमेव सर्वं कल्पितं ब्रह्मा avat paschattat, avat purastat, avottarattat, avat dakshinattat, avat churvattat, avat harattat, sarvato mam pahi pahi samastat, tvam shenmataha, tvam Ekadam Chaturhastam Pashamam Kushadharinam Radam Chavaradam Haste Bipranam Mushakadvajam Raktam Lambodadam Shurpakartam Kavasasam Rakta Ganganulitangam Rakta Pushpe Supujitam Bhaktanukampinam Devam Jagatkadanamachyutam Avir Bhutam Chashrishyado Prakritev Purushat Param Evam dhyayati yo nityam sayogi yoginam varaha Namo Vratapataye, Namo Ganapataye, Namah Pramatapataye, Namaste Astu Lambodara Ekadantaya Viknanashine Shivasutaya Shivaradamurtaye Namaha Etatarvashirasham Yodhiti Sabrahma Bhuyaya Kalpate Sasarva Viknairna Bhakyate Sasarvatra Sukamedate Sapancha Mahapat Pramuchyate Sayamadiyano Vivasakritam Papam Nashayati Prakaradiyano Rasakritam Papam Nashayati Sayam Pratah Prayunyano Papo Papo Bhavati Sarvastradiyano Pavikno Bhavati Dharmasata Mokshancha Vindati Iramatarvashirasham Mashishyayana Deyam Yoyam Moha Asyati Sapatiyan Bhavati Sahasravarshadhyam Yankavanaditi Tamtamanena Sadhani Anena Ganapatim Abhishenchati Savatmi Bhavati Chaturthamanashram Japati Savithavan Bhavati Ityatarvana Bhagyam Brahma Yavanam Vidyam Navivedikachaneti Yodhurvam Purusham Savishravanopamo Bhavati Yolajayajati Sayashovan Bhavati Samedhavan Bhavati Yobodha Sahasre Yajati Savanchita Palamabapnoti Yasaya Samudhyate Sasarvam Labate Ashtam Brahmanam Samyatra
नियता प्रकाशः गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि
प्रमुच्यते
माङ्गाल्यस्य सकलेन्द्रिय
सर्वविद्भवति स सर्वविद्भवति
पश्यन्ति भवन्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगन्ति
भद्रं
आनन्दचिन्मय सरुक्षरवीकरस्य गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि
स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो
अद्वैतमक्षतमनादिमन्तरूपम् आद्यं पुराणपुरुषं नवयो
भ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं तु
वेदेषु दुर्लभमदुर्लभमात्मभक्तो गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि भक्तस्तु कोटिशतवत्सरसम्प्रदाम्यो
तस्मात्
वायोरदापि मनसो मुनिपुङ्गवानः
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः
सोऽप्यस्ति यत्प्रवरसिंहविचिन्त्य तत्त्वे गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि विज्ञोपसौरचरितुं जगदन्तकोटि यक्षस्थिरस्ति जगदन्तजयालहन्ता अन्तरस्थपरमानुजयन्तरस्य गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि यत्पावपावितरियो मनुजस्ततेव सम्प्राप्य रूपमहिमा सनयानभूषा श्रुतेयमेव निगमा प्रतितस्तुवन्ति गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मयरसाद्रवितावितावि तबीय एव निजरूपलया कलावि गोलोक एव निवसात्यखिलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि प्रेमाञ्जनाचुरितभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्तासरेव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपा गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ब्रह्माणि मूर्तिसुकलानि अमेन दृष्टम् नानावतारमकरो भुवनेषु किन्तु कृष्णा स्वयं समभवत् परमपुमान्यो गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्या प्रभावभवतो जगदान्तकोटि कोटिश्वशेषवसुषादि विभूतिवीना तत्ब्रह्मनिष्कलमनन्तमशेषभूता गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि ॐ गोविन्दमानि पुरुषं तमहं भजामि सतानि सूत्रे त्रैगुण्यतद्विषयवेदवितायमाना सत्त्वावलम्बि परसत्त्वविशूरसत्त्वा गोविन्दमालिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ गोविन्दमालिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मयरसात्मतया मनस्सु या प्राणिनां प्रतिफलं स्मरतामुपेत्य लीलायतेन भुवनानि जयाय चस्रा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि गोलोकनं निजलं नितले च तस्य देवी महेशारि रामसुतेषु तेषु ते ते प्रभावनिशया विरजश्च येन गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि सृष्टिस्थिति प्रलयसाधन शक्तिरेका चायेव यस्य भुवनानि विभाति दुर्गा ईशानरूपमपि यस्य च तिष्ठति सा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि श्रीरम्यतारतिविकारविशेषयोगा सञ्जायते नैतथा गतिहस्तवेतो यशाम्बुतामपि तथा समुपेत्ति काया गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि दीपाच्य एव इदशन्तरमप्युपेत्य दीपायते विविधहेति समानकामा यस्तात्तदेव च विष्णुतया विभाति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यकारमावरचले स्वगतिस्वयोगा निरामनन्तचरन्तसरोमकूपः आधारशक्तिमवलम्ब्य परं स्वमूर्ते गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यस्यैकनिश्वसितकालमतावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविरजा जगन्नाथा विष्णुर्महांसैलयस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि तस्मान्नतस्मसकलेषु विजेषु तेजा स्वीयं कियं प्रकटयत्तपितत्वतत्रा ब्रह्माय एष जगदन्नविधानकर्ता गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि ओ गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यत्पारपालवयुगं विनिराय कुम्भा वन्दे प्रणामसमये सगनादिराजा विघ्नन्तुमलमश्च जगत्त्रयस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं Shambhumarutishascha Kalastagatmamanasvirajagatrayani Yasmat pavanti vibhavanti vishanti yancha Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Oh Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Yakshashuresha savitasa kalagrahana Raja samasta suramurtirashesha teja Yasyandaya pramati sampratakala chandro Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Oh Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Damora papa nijaya shrutayastavamsi Ramari kita paragavarayasya jivaha Yatanga matra vibhavata kata prabhava Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Oh Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Yastrinda gopama ravendra ho swakarma Bandhana rupa parabhajagamata-nodi Karmani edadi kintu cha bhakti bhaja Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Oh Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Yadroda kama sahaja pranayani viti Vatsaya moha guru gaurava sevya bhavane Sanchintya tasya sarasindharama purete Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Oh Govindamari purushantamaham bhajami Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Om Agnanam Timirandasya Gyanam Jana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurave Namaha. Dev, good morning. Welcome to Ganesh Chaturthi. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi. Today's Srimad Bhagavatam verse is Canto 10, verse 81. Canto 10, chapter 81, verse 35. Kinchit karo tyurvapyat svadatam suhri kritam flagvapi burkari. Excuse me. Mayopanitam pratyukhe mustim pratyagrahit pratiyoto mahatma. The Lord considers even his greatest benedictions to be insignificant, while he magnifies even a small service rendered to him by his well-wishing devotee. Thus, with pleasure, the Supreme Soul accepted a single palmful of flat rice I brought him. So this verse comes from the story of Sudama. And just to give you a brief history, Sudama and Krishna were friends when they were in Gurukul. And when they went their separate ways, Sudama was a Brahmin. He got married, he had a family, and due to a curse, he was very, very poor. And he was so poor that his family, his wife and his children, were really starving. So after a long time of suffering, the wife begged Sudama to go to see Krishna. She said, if he's such a great friend of yours, you should go to him and ask for help. He didn't want to beg from Krishna, but he finally said yes because he wanted to see his friend. So he went to the palace and he waited all day long. And finally, when Krishna heard about him, he ran down and welcomed Sudama, took him up to his room, washed his feet with his tears, and it was a beautiful reunion. And after they spent some time together, Sudama went home, and instead of his hut, he found a beautiful palace. And it was full of opulence, and because the wife had said, you have to take a gift for Krishna, he had taken a little handful of puffed rice that he had that his wife had begged from a neighbor. And he carried it under his armpit in a bit of her sari. And so when Krishna saw him, he said, what gift have you brought me? Because Krishna knew. And ashamed, Sudama didn't want to give it to him because he, Krishna, was the husband of the goddess of fortune. So he was just ashamed at how meager his offering was. But Krishna wanted it, and he knew that he had it, so they wrestled like they were in Gurukul, and it spilled on the floor, and Krishna scooped it up with his hand, took one bite and another bite, and was about to take the third bite when Mahalakshmi stopped him and said, that's enough. And so this verse comes from the point when Sudama is home and he's contemplating what has happened. And he's contemplating the fact that his life has been completely transformed by the mercy of the Lord, by Krishna. And I was inspired to do this story after hearing Guruji's satsang when he arrived in São Paulo in Brazil on the 14th of September this year. And Guruji was talking about how Lakshmi sits in Vaikuntha with the Lord and is asking him, what is it that inspires you to go to your devotee? She said, you don't live in the hearts of a yogi. You don't chase knowledge. You're not that impressed with aesthetics. And you don't want a big show. But if a devotee just calls you just once, you leave everything and you go to them. And Guruji explained that when a pure devotee's heart awakens, this is what calls the Lord, because it's an invitation for the Lord to play his Leela with that bhakta. And so Guruji goes on to say that this Leela unfolds. We think it's our idea, and we think we make something happen, but in fact, it's the Lord that does everything. And I thought about this in relationship to my recent adventure in Greece. I was there for 2 weeks for a painting retreat with Rishika Drishti and Naraja Dasi and 9 women. It was a beautiful and amazing experience. And so this story is really about doing self-reflection to remove the obstacles. This is my tribute to Ganesh today. And so the first week, I had chosen an image to do. It was Radha Krishna, who's my Ishtadev. And I was very diligent in doing it, and I wanted to do it perfect. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, for those who know me. You know I'm really a perfectionist. And so I was doing everything perfectly, and I was coloring within the lines, and I was having a lovely time. And it was a wonderful experience. And it was great to just get out of my daily routine and get out of the habits that I have being here in the ashram, because here I'm just pushing constantly, driving to do things. And there, I didn't have to drive to do anything. It was get up, we had puja, we went out into the olive grove overlooking the Mediterranean, and we were painting in the sunlight, and it was just a really relaxing and amazing time. So I made my picture and I was finished. The second week came and it was time to do another picture, but I hadn't chosen anything. And there was a beautiful picture of Radha. And I thought, I don't really know much about Radha. I'm not really close to Radha, so I thought this would be a good time. I'll paint her. I'll get to know Radha, because Radha is the closest one to Krishna. So if I get to know her, then she can take me to Krishna. This is my thinking. So I chose her. I set it up, I'm doing it, I'm painting for a few days, and again, the perfectionism is just really getting in my way, and I am just struggling to get the perfect blending of colors. I did her face at least 10 times. I was working with acrylic, so I could do that, and I was just really working it, and finally I just went, that's it. I'm done. I'm finishing today. And everybody's going, you're finishing today? And all there was a face. There were no eyes, no lips, no hair, no background. I said, yes, today, I'm done. And so Drishti was talking in the morning, and she was saying how she painted for Guruji. She paints just for thinking of him, remembering him, and she paints as an offering of love and gratitude to him. And I thought, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Didn't happen. And so I pushed through, and I did the eyes, and I did her hair, and I made her have open hair, and it looked like a scarf over her head. And I painted a solid color background, and I was like, there, I'm done. And I was like satisfied enough because I was finished. And that night, I had this thought that, I don't paint as an offering of love and gratitude. I paint to get the job done. I'm copying something. I'm taking someone else's picture and I'm copying it. And so I looked at Radha and I gave a prayer and I said, Radha, I don't know who you are. I want to know who you are. And please help me to understand. Please show me who you are. Please let me get to know you, and so that I can get to know the Lord. You're the closest one to him. You are, in fact, him. So please help me. And it was a sincere prayer from my heart, because instantly I had this thought as I was looking at the picture before I went to bed, and I realized it looks more like Mary than it looks like Radha. And I thought, okay, that's not going to do. And so I was looking at the picture and I said, okay, then what do you want? And I instantly had this image of how her hair should be bound together, and there would be beautiful golden chains in her hair, and how she would be wearing a sari instead of a scarf. And so the next morning when the time came, I got up, I went to the olive grove once again. I bring out my picture, and people are looking at me and kind of smiling, because here I am working on it again when I said it was done yesterday. And I changed her hair, and I changed the background, and I made her have a sari, and I put this on, and I did this. And I was painting her eyes. And I said, I want golden eyes. And I asked Narajadasi how to make gold. I said, I don't want gold metallic, I just want the color gold. And she said, why do you want golden eyes? I said, I just want golden eyes. And she said, okay, so she was helping me make the color. And as soon as I made the eyes and I made them golden, all of a sudden everything popped. And she became alive. And I realized that I had been trying to be perfect in what I was doing rather than be in relationship. And I realized that when Guruji was talking in his satsang about knowledge, I had the knowledge of how to paint, how to stay within the lines. I had the knowledge that I'm painting a divine image, but I was missing the knowledge that I'm in relationship with the divine as I'm painting. And so I realized that she was the one who was waiting for me, just like Krishna was waiting for Sudama to wake up and to long for him. And while Krishna was waiting for Sudama to long for him, Krishna was longing for Sudama. And Radha was longing for me to wake up and say, come to know me. My relationship with you is different than the person whose picture you're copying. And I started to say, okay, there's something else here. And it's not about being an aesthetic to give up anything. It's about giving everything, putting everything, heart and soul, your love, offering, gratitude, even the frustrations into every painting. Every painting that Guruji does, he puts himself into it. And you can tell. It's not that the brush strokes are perfect. It's not a masterpiece like some of the famous artists, but it's full of his love. And that's what captures our attention. And so that's what I was missing in my painting. As I started to work with her, I started chanting Sri Radhe, the beautiful bhajan that Guruji created. And the more I was chanting it, the more I was getting into this bhav of just loving Radha. And just loving the act of painting instead of doing it perfect. And I decided, I don't need to do it perfect. I just need to do it and be in relationship with her. And suddenly all those things that I'd been struggling with smoothed out. And everything came to life. And it just became, instead of a big show to say, here, look how great I am, it just became an offering of love. Nothing for anybody else, just between me and her. And I was realizing that it's this relationship that we all are in. And when we try to copy what other people are doing, we're just copying what they're doing. And we're not in relationship. Because my relationship with Radha is going to be different than everybody else's relationship with Radha. Just like my relationship with Guruji is different than everyone else's relationship with Guruji. And that's the beauty of having a master in our lives. He has that ability to be different with each and every one of us. And so does Radha, so do each of these deities. Your Ishtadev's relationship with you is unique to you. And you have a different way of dressing them, of bathing them, of feeding them, the way that you apply the chandan and kumkum and the perfume is all unique to you. And it's about the divine is sitting there waiting for us. They look like a little metal statue, or it looks like a painting on a piece of paper, but it's not. The energy of that deity is there, waiting, calling on us, just saying, when are you going to wake up? When are you going to see? I'm here in front of you, I'm waiting. Let's do a Leela together. And so that's what I was doing, is being in relationship with her. I came home from Greece, the painting still isn't done, yet it's hanging on my door, so I see it every time I walk in. And I realize that not having her done is a good thing, because she's still teaching me things. Even as I walk by, I say, oh, there's this. You want these little ornaments on the chains in your hair. Okay, I'll do that. Oh, you want these gems in your sari. Okay, let's do that. And I can see that it's going to evolve over time. And that's the beauty of our relationship. It's not about me deciding what she needs. It's about her revealing to me what she wants. And that is our relationship. So, back to this verse. The Lord considers even his greatest benedictions or his blessings to be insignificant. Guruji was talking about this in San Paulo, that he says what's beautiful is the gift of the bhakta, how the bhakta gives their everything. He spoke about it also in Elmira. And the Lord magnifies even the smallest service rendered to him by his well-wishing devotees. And that's what Guruji wants to see. He just wants to see us giving ourselves so that he can give himself to us. And thus it is with pleasure that the Supreme Soul, or Radha, accepts a single palmful of rice or a few hours of painting and being in relationship, because this is the beauty of our path. Jai Gurudev.
Namaste Gurudev, Gurudev, Shri Vishwananda Gurudev, Gurudev,
गजमुख गणपति देवा गजमुख गणपति देवा गजमुख गणपति देवा गजमुख गणपति देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा लंबोदर श्री देवा लंबोदर श्री देवा लंबोदर श्री देवा लंबोदर श्री देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा चार भुजामृता गणेश देवा चार भुजामृता गणेश देवा चार भुजामृता गणेश देवा चार भुजामृता गणेश देवा विघ्न विनाशक गणेश देवा विघ्न विनाशक गणेश देवा विघ्न विनाशक गणेश देवा विघ्न विनाशक गणेश देवा एकदंत श्री देवा एकदंत श्री देवा एकदंत श्री देवा एकदंत श्री देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा गणेश देवा शरणम देवा देवाजी देवा शरणम देवा देवाजी देवा शरणम देवा देवाजी देवा शरणम देवा देवाजी देवा शरणम देवा गजमुख गणपति देवा गजमुख गणपति देवा गजमुख गणपति
ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथं 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 ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथं मूषिकवाहन गणनाथं मूषिकवाहन गणनाथं मूषिकवाहन गणनाथं मोदकहस्तगणनाथं 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 गणनाथं 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 ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् ओ ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् वामनरूप गणनाथम् वामनरूप गणनाथम् वामनरूप गणनाथम् वामनरूप गणनाथम् महेश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् महेश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् महेश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् महेश्वरपुत्रं ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् ईश्वरपुत्रं गणनाथम् रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में रामानुज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराज रामानुज मंगल मंगल में यतिराय करुणाकराय मंगल मंगल में यतिराय करुणाकराय मंगल मंगल में प्रभु Jaya Jagadish Hare, Swami Jaya Jagadish Hare, Bhakta Janon ke Sankata, Dasa Janon ke Sankata, Chana mein dur kare, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Choda re wala pave, Duka bina se manaka, Swami duka bina se manaka, Duka sampati garave, Duka sampati garave, Ashtami te kanaka, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Mata Pita tuma mere, Sharana gaun mein kisaki, Swami Sharana gaun mein kisaki, Tuma bina aura na duja, Tuma bina aura na duja, Asa karu mein kisaki, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Tuma Purana Paramatma, Tuma Antarayami, Swami Tuma Antarayami, Parabrahma Parameshwara, Parabrahma Parameshwara, Tuma Sabake Swami, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Tuma Karuna ke Sagar, Tuma Palan Karata, Swami Tuma Palan Karata, Main Sevaka Tuma Swami, Main Sevaka Tuma Swami, Kripa Karo Bharata, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Tumaro Eka Goshar Samake Pranapati, Swami Samake Pranapati, Kisa Vivi Milon Laya Maya, Kisa Vivi Milon Kripa Maya, Tumago Men Kumati, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Nishaya Bandhu Dukahata, Tumara Shaka Mere, Swami Tumara Shaka Mere, Karuna Badao, Karuna Badao, Sharana Pada Tere, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Vishaya Vikara Mitao, Papa Haro Deva, Swami Papa Haro Deva, Shraddha Bhakti Badao, Shraddha Prema Badao, Santana ki Seva, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Jana Mana Jana Sabare Tera, Swami Sava Kucha Hai Tera, Swami Sava Kucha Hai Tera, Tera Tujhko Arpana, Tera Tujhko Arpana, Kya lage mera, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Swami Jaya Jagadish Hare, Bhakta Janon ke Sankata, Dasa Janon ke Sankata, Chana mein dur kare, Om Jaya Jagadish Hare, Mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Oh chakar rakho, chakar rakho, chakar rakho ji, chakar rakho, chakar rakho, chakar rakho ji, Nade chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Shama mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Govinda mane chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji, Giridhari lala chakar rakho ji. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, Tvameva bandhusya sakha tvameva, Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva, Sutoma Sargamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Nityorma Amrita Gamaya. Om Shanti 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Prem se bolo Shri Lakshmi Narayan Bhagavan ki. Shri Shanti Narayan Bhagavan ki. Prem se bolo Shri Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki. Prem se bolo Shri Ganesha Ganpat ki. Prem se bolo Shri Mavatar Kriya Babaji ki. Prem se bolo Shri Mamanujacharya ki. Prem se bolo Sadgurudeva Sri Swami Vishwananda Mahaprabhu ki jai. Om Lim Krishnaya Govindaya Gopichanavarapaya Paraya Paramapurushaya Parakama Mantra Yantra Tantra Oshadastra Shastrani Samara Samara Vichum Muchai Muchai. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Dipte Jwala Pridaya Savati Shomana Upan Rashmai Parabrahmane Pamjoti Se Swaha. Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Shyam Venkataramana Govinda. Gopika Chivanam Smaranam Govinda. Bhaktavatsala Govinda. Govinda. Govinda.